Ben Wright struck his first 100 for a couple of years as his Glamorgan side spent the penultimate day of their LV County Championship match with Gloucestershire, piling on the runs in Bristol. The Welshman started the second morning on 209 for 2, trailing by 182 runs, but 130 of that deficit had been knocked off in an entertaining first session, played under mostly blue skies and in warm temperatures. Wright, who resumed his innings on 8, was a revelation, and he may never have played better than he did in the morning session, a session which he totally dominated in spite of coming out to bat with a man, Jacques Rudolph, who already had 100 under his belt. It was another nice pitch at Neville Road to play shots on, and Wright played plenty of them, including this straight 6 off Tom Smith. The 26-year-old Lancastrian has not been in the best of form this summer, and indeed for quite a while. His top score last year was just 63, and he made only 499 runs in 23 championship innings. His 50 here arrived courtesy of his 9th 4 off his 70th delivery. At this stage, Rudolph had added only 9 runs to his overnight score of 108. The South African was happy to play the anchor role, with Wright blasting the ball to all parts. This was a rare boundary from the left-hander. Wright brought out all of his shots as he continued to score freely throughout what was an extraordinary morning session for him. It looked as if he was just in one of those moods, the kind of batsman has only a few times in his career, when he thinks he can do pretty much anything. Wright was doing pretty much anything as he continued to speed through the numbers with some scintillating stroke play. He'd scored only 79 runs in 4 championship innings before this one, and knowing that this was a very good pitch to bat on, he was determined not to miss out on a big score and to see if he could add to his 5 other first-class hundreds, which had come out of his previous 132 innings. He scored 93 runs in the morning session alone, while Rudolph was probably happy with his 30. Wright was at 3 figures before the break. Naturally, he got there with a 4 as he pulled Liam Norwell for his 19th boundary to go with his 1-6. His ton was reached off 125 balls, and his reaction told everyone how pleased he was with it. It was simply superb. Gloucestershire finally broke through after lunch when Rudolph tried to uppercut Matt Taylor, but only found Benny Howell in the deep. It ended a 3rd wicket partnership of 158, in which Wright made 106. He hadn't finished yet either. He played some clever shots after being joined in the middle by Chris Cook, with a score on 345 for 3. These two then took it to 370 for a deficit of only 21 runs, when Wright's excellence was finally ended on 123. What a relief it must have been for the home attack when he middled a sweep shot off Smith, only to find Ian Cobain. Wright left having hit 102 of his 123 runs in boundaries alone. Well played. The problem for Gloucestershire now was that Cook was joined in the middle by Jim Allenby. These two had put on a record-breaking stand in their win over Kent in Cardiff just last week, and they are a pair who obviously enjoy batting together. They first took their side into the lead and then brought up the 400 in the 107th over for maximum batting bonus points. That same over saw 17 runs taken off it, as these two really started to pick up the pace of an innings that hadn't been going along too shabbily beforehand. Hardly a ball beat the bat, and the batsmen didn't leave many either, as the Gloucestershire attack was hit to all parts for the second successive home match. They will be looking forward to leaving their county ground to head off for a fortnight at Cheltenham before too long. Both these men hit 50s. Allenby reached his off 75 balls, this being one of his 7 4s. While Cook needed 105 deliveries for his, he struck 4 boundaries in his as these two added 110 runs for the 5th wicket in 28 overs. The 3rd wicket to fall during the day was also the 3rd to be a catch on the boundary. Allenby was held by Chris Dent off Norwell after making 57. Cook fell for 52 in Norwell's next over, a cut flying to Will Gidman to leave Glamorgan on 485 for 6 with a lead of 94. Then, from nowhere, Taylor managed to get a ball up. It hit Graham Wagg in the head and forced him to retire hurt. By all accounts, he was, thankfully, soon back to his chirpy self. Buoyed by that, Norwell then bagged one in to cause Rory Smith some concern. It was a brute of a ball. Smith and Andrew Salter soon put such events behind them by taking the total to a mammoth 548 with some punchy shots. Salter was LBW to Howell for 19, but Glamorgan batted on to end the day on 569 for 7 from 154 overs. That gives them a lead of 178 going into the final day of this match. Expect them to have a hit at the start of the last morning before they tear in to see if their host can survive the day. It may well be set for another rearguard innings from Cobain, the man who batted forever to save a match against Surrey at this ground recently.